Welcome into sports. I'm AJ Myers. Anytime someone starts riding a bike, they typically use training wheels, but after a while, that safety cushion is gone. For Syracuse quarterback Ricky Collins, the training wheels are off for the first time in the redshirt sophomore's collegiate career. With QB1 Steve Angeli out for the season, Collins makes his first ever start on a collegiate field. Well, we know Fran Brown hates to lose, so much so that he may skip a shower. Here's what the coach had to say immediately following the loss to Tennessee. Quarterback this season for Syracuse football has been a game of whack-a-mole. Welcome into sports. I'm AJ Myers. Each week, no one is sure which name is running out onto the field to lead the offense. Since starter Steve Angeli went down against Clemson, the Orange have played 3 different QBs. What was the decision to change the quarterbacks? And he simply said the team needed a spark, and I think everyone could agree with that. That first half, the offense just was not lively at all. The only reason Syracuse scored was because of that interception. Ricky Collins simply could not get this team in the red zone. He goes with Luke Carney to start the third quarter. They needed a spark. Now, here's the other interesting part that Fran Brown said. He said that Luke Carney doesn't know much of the playbook. That's why Ricky Collins came back into this game, and that either quarterback really knows much of a playbook, and they're still in a developmental phase. Ranked Tennessee is no easy start to a campaign, especially with a new quarterback. Tomorrow, Syracuse welcomes UConn, and it's not basketball, so it should be no problem. Think again. The Huskies gave the Orange all they could handle last year. Kyle McCord needed to throw for over 400 yards, so SU could escape with a 31-24 victory. Yeah, Adam, it was another great display from Kyan Anthony today, and I spoke to him after the game, and he says a big thing for him is being aggressive early on, and you saw that right away. He's getting to the cup. He's doing those pretty step backs inside the paint. Everything is going really well right now for Kyan Anthony, and of course, his dad was here. They got a big round of applause when he walked out. So it's kind of a cool mojo thing, I think, that's going on right now for Syracuse. With Kyan and Carmelo being at every game so far, it's something certainly this team didn't have last year, and I think I speak for everyone. I don't think anyone really expected Kyan to be this good so early on, but once again, another really impressive display against Drexel.
AJ, thank you so much for joining us. You talk about people not expecting Kyan to be this good. Maybe some people expected Nate Kings to be a little bit better. He struggled on and off this season. The shots weren't necessarily falling again today. I'm curious what you thought about Nate Kings' performance against Drexel.
Yeah, so Milo, I spoke to Nate Kings after the game, and he was really honest with me. He said, yeah, usually I'm hitting these kind of shots. It's not quite working for him just yet. But he's doing well in the offense. When he's running up and down the floor and he's in the offense, he's getting shots up. I think it's only a matter of time. It's when those three-pointers start falling down, because that's what he did against Oregon State. He was a really good three-point shooter. I think it's going to happen for him. It's just early on. He's still getting adjusted, but he doesn't seem too frazzled. I think he still has plenty of confidence in himself. Just from talking with him, he seems to be okay. I think he knows things are going to get on track for him, and if they do, that's just another addition to an already really good Syracuse offense. Welcome to NCC Sports. I'm AJ Myers. ACC play so far for Syracuse men's basketball has been filled with nail-biters. 3 of the 4 games have been decided by 10 or fewer points, and the one that was not was just an 11-point victory over Pitt. A trip to Chestnut Hill continued the trimming of nails. Captain J.J. Starling says he feels he's played his best basketball in recent days, but no one has played better than Donnie Freeman, getting the and-one contact to put the Cuse up early. But the story of the game for the Orange would be the turnovers. Nate George coughing it up, leading to an Aiden Shaw dunk that gives the Eagles the lead. Yet SU went into the halftime locker room up 5. Midway through the second frame, Nate Kings heated up from beyond the arc, canning a season-high 5 triples. Yet Boston College proved to be pesky all game long. Fred Payne navigating through the traffic for 2, locked up at 55. It would be Kings again. This time, though, he's doing it in the paint. With 12 seconds left, though, BC needed a basket. Where would they go? They shot the 3-ball pretty well all day. Donald Hand Jr., 4-3, down it goes. We got overtime. I told you it was another nail-biter. In the extra session, a posterizing dunk from Jaden Hastings, and that would do it for the Orange, scoring just 9 points in OT, falling to the Eagles 81-73. Here's Coach Adrian Autry on the problems down the stretch.
We didn't finish the game the way we needed to finish the game. It's going to be close games like this all year, and we have to be able to come through and get those done and finish those. And we didn't do the job tonight. You can't win and beat anybody with 18 turnovers, right? Like 18 turnovers and the turnovers that led to points. And I thought that was the difference.
The defeat is Syracuse's second quad 3 blunder of the year. The Cuse are back Wednesday night against Virginia Tech. To the gridiron, the divisional round of the NFL playoffs commenced this weekend, and even with all the injuries, the Bills found themselves just a game away from back-to-back AFC title games. All that stood in their way was a trip to the Mile High versus the top-seeded Broncos. Could this finally be the year Josh Allen gets over the hump? Denver just one home defeat this season. Late fourth quarter, Josh Allen connects with his tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Allen, 3 TD passes on the day. A minute left. This time it's Bo Nix lofting into the end zone for Marvin Mims Jr. Nix, he also had a hat trick of TDs. Then late in the fourth quarter, Matt Prater kicks through a game-tying 31-yard field goal. How about some more overtime on this Saturday? The Bills have played close games all year. Josh Allen at midfield, dropping back. He's looking for Brandon Cooks, making the catch, right? No, it's intercepted. They're going to be talking about this one all week. I don't know. You be the judge on that one. Either way, it would put Denver at midfield late in this game. The Broncos would then be set up with a game-winning field goal, an easy chip shot. The heartbreak would continue for Buffalo. They just can't seem to get the job done. On the NFC side, the Seahawks took on the 49ers, and how about this start from Seattle? Rashid Shaheed, opening kickoff, 95 yards. You could not ask for a better start at home for the top-seeded Seahawks, and for the 49ers, they would be struggling all game long. Sam Darnold dropping back, finding his man, Jackson Smith-Njigba, just getting it in there in the corner of the end zone. In Seattle, they've had a great offense all season long, but their defense is what's really stood out. Brock Purdy, late in the fourth quarter, loses the football. The 49ers, they would not find the end zone the entire game, losing this one 41-6. On the ice, the Crunch went south to face the Lehigh Valley Phantom. Midway through the second period, Syracuse, they get on the board thanks to a strike from Dylan Duke that just sneaks in around the post. Later in the frame, Tristan Allnard right in front of the goal. He's going to slot it home easily. 2-0 advantage for the Crunch. The Phantom, though, they would come back in the third period. A 2-1 game. Bit of a messy goal here for Tommy Miller, but hey, they all count the same. Syracuse would tack on one later and take home a 4-1 victory. That's all the time we have in sports. Thanks so much.
It was once again a roller coaster ride at quarterback in Syracuse's 30-13 defeat to Pitt. Ricky Collins threw for just over 120 yards and 2 touchdown passes, but once again had 3 interceptions. After the game, Fran Brown reminded everyone that Collins is still developing at the position.
Ricky's third game. Is he getting better in some areas? Absolutely. Are there some things that we want to be able to process and do a little bit better? Absolutely, we want to.
Kyle last year made it look pretty easy. Steve made it look pretty easy the first couple games. But it's very hard to win. You got to prepare your butt off, and you had to be ready for any situation, and you got to keep working. I mean, there's going to be times like this where we get punched in the mouth.
That roller coaster featured a sharp curve in the third quarter when true freshman quarterback Luke Carney came out for 3 series. Fran Brown hoped that would generate a spark for his team.
That he was going to be the one to spark us. I mean, I was all for it, whatever it takes for us to win. I mean, he's more than capable of running the offense and running the show and getting us a victory.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to get out there. That's what you put all the work in for, so it was fun to get out there and play with the guys, but, I mean, got to move the ball more efficiently at the end of the day, so got to execute better.
The tandem of quarterbacks generated just 6 points in the second half for Syracuse, but Fran Brown reassured everyone that Ricky Collins would be the starter next week in Atlanta when Syracuse takes on number 12 undefeated Georgia Tech at noon. Reporting from the JMA Wireless Dome, I'm AJ Myers, Citrus TV.
We would very likely not be here if we're not for the belief and confidence of this man.
For over 30 years, crunch hockey has been a staple in Syracuse. Yet all of that may have not happened without one man.
And it's my great privilege to induct my buddy George McPhee into the Syracuse Hockey Hall of Fame.
George McPhee is a prominent name within NHL front offices, with a successful stint with the Washington Capitals and a Stanley Cup triumph as president of hockey operations for the Vegas Golden Knights.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
But before McPhee was lifting Lord Stanley, he was tasked with bringing the Syracuse community a hockey club it could get behind.
Well, it's turned out obviously to be a great hockey market, and listen, you want lots of things to do. You want to live in a community where there's a variety of things to do, and there are some staples like professional teams that all cities should have, and this is a good one.
McPhee knew that hockey was right for the Salt City, but what he could not have predicted was that his fellow Hall of Fame class members also took tremendous pride in playing in Syracuse.
It was the most connected I was to a community, outside the community and doing some charity work here. And
there's something about this arena, the city, the culture, the atmosphere coming into the War Memorial, you feel it.
McPhee had a suspicion that this city would fall in love with hockey.
Well, you never know when you're going through it, but after the first year I thought, boy, this is going to last a lifetime.
Reporting in Syracuse, I'm AJ Myers, NCC News.